What's up, y'all? Welcome back to episode two, Beyond Bounds. Don't let any boundaries define who you are. Go beyond. I just want to thank y'all before we start episode two. Thank you for all the support on the socials. Y'all went crazy on Instagram, over 1,000 views on Instagram, and a bunch of subscribers and views as well on YouTube. It was really awesome. Stay with us. It's going to be a long journey, but I promise you it'll be worth it. And before we get started, I'm Jaden, as DJ, and let's get started with some football. So, what do you got for us?
All right, as you guys know, we got conference championship coming up this Sunday, man. We got Bills versus Chiefs, Eagles versus Commanders. It's going to be some great, exciting football. First off, I'll
Mhm.
start off with the Chiefs versus Bills. Obviously, the Chiefs are the favorite to win this game because of their number 15 Mahomes, obviously, and Chiefs defense been playing pretty good. But I really think Bills, I Bills they got I think people are trying to say they got to go in and score a lot of points and all that to win. Honestly, I think if you want to do that, I think if Josh Allen comes in this game saying, I gotta outplay Mahomes, I don't think that's the key to winning. I think the Bills should stay to their course, stay to what they run on offense, stick to what they run, and I think that would be the key for them to win this game. And Chiefs, they love these type of games. So I think it's gonna be not much high scoring game, and Chiefs find ways to win these games every time, So, um, but yeah, and then with the Commanders and Eagles, obviously, the Washington's the underdog. But to me, they're playing the best football out of all the teams in the playoffs right now, and that's you can really say that. And then with the Eagles, they just got to keep running the football. Jalen Hurts, he's not playing his best ball right now, but I think he's processing as he get going. But when he's not playing his best ball, they're still finding ways to win. I think that's the key to success for the Eagles. What do you think?
Personally, I would say when it comes to the AFC Championship with the Chiefs and Bills, that's the Super Bowl right there. That is genuinely the Super Bowl without the name and branding and all that. And if I am Josh Allen, my what's in my mind should not be I have to outplay Mahomes because unfortunately, especially with their defense, the refs helping them and all that, they're not you're never gonna truly outplay him when it comes to putting points on the board. So with that being said, of course, play your normal game, but allow your defense to have their time as well. Because your defense will truly shine if you sit here, okay, I'm doing my work, giving y'all, we're running the ball, throwing the ball, so we're giving y'all a good little bit of rest. Don't go for one play drives, try to score quick all the time. Be relaxed, be methodical, like they say, you'll be all right. And like I said, give your defense rest, and then they can go out there, dominate, and you can come out of Arrowhead with a dub going to the Super Bowl. As for the NFC with the Eagles and Commanders, I think that, all honesty, like Stephen A said, Jaden Daniels can very well easily win this Super Bowl. He can easily win this game as well, but especially the Super Bowl. I think with him getting past the Eagles, all it requires him to do is play the game he's always been playing. Now, as for the Eagles, I would say Jalen Hurts, like you said, he's not in the best condition. So just feeding Saquon, him going crazy, O-line blocking for him and everything will really help them in this game. It's anybody's game to win, honestly, in my opinion. So I'm excited to see what happens this weekend.
Yeah, and piggyback with the Chiefs versus Bills. I think the red zone is going to be vital for the defense
Hmm.
and offense. I think 7 and 3 is going to play a big role in this game. Which quarterback can make the plays when they need the most? And obviously, it's been Mahomes in the past. When he needs it, he gets it. And I mean, Josh Allen has been playing he plays best ball in the playoffs against the Chiefs. He's put up big numbers, but obviously he has come out on the wrong side of the end every time. And then, yeah, back with Washington, they have a shot to win this game, and they truly
Yeah.
believe that. They truly believe that. They split in the regular season. Obviously, Jalen Hurts went down the first game. So I mean, I'm really hoping. I really think Jalen Hurts is kind of maybe pissed off about how that late hit. It was a dirty hit. Maybe he's going to come out playing with an edge. We will see. But so with that, what is your predictions for these games? Who do you got? Who do you got in your Super Bowl?
AFC, I really am hoping it's not going to be a high scoring game. I hope it's a lot of defense and just, you know, being able to play the game instead of like just a weak defense and throwing up touchdowns every two plays. But all honesty, I could see that happening, and I have the Chiefs winning by a field goal because their defense, the refs, will really help them this game. And They're at home as well, so that crowd will factor into that. And as for the NFC Championship with the Eagles and Commanders, I'm gonna give Saquon 2 or 3 touchdowns and a field goal on top of that, but they're gonna lose to the Commanders. I'd say 30, 38-24. I think it's gonna be a dominant game for Jaden Daniels. He's got something to prove. He's a rookie. He'll be one of the first to ever make the Super Bowl, and if he wins, one of the first to lead his team to victory in it. So it'll be really awesome. And with that being said, he's going in with that monster mentality.
Okay. I heard everything you said, but with the AFC, I'm going to disagree with you. I am picking Josh Allen to finally get over
I
the
hope
edge.
you're right. I
I'm
hope
picking
you're
Josh Allen to
right.
finally get over the edge. He's played his best ball against the Chiefs, as I said earlier. He played his best ball against the Chiefs. They beat him early in the regular season, and I think they're going to get him again in the playoffs. And this is what we've been talking about. Josh Allen has to beat the top quarterbacks to be considered the top dog, and he hasn't done that. And I know that's why we talk about Joe Burrow different. Not because Joe Burrow won MVPs and all that. Joe Burrow went into Arrowhead. It was the thing going on. They was calling Arrowhead Burrowhead for a second. And so Josh
Mhm.
Allen, you got to go in there and you got to beat him. So I'm picking. I think Josh Allen, and I said this game is going to come down to who get the ball last. I just
Yeah.
really think that it's going to be a thriller as always. I say Josh Allen get the ball last with a tie game. He goes down and punch it in for the win with not much time left for Mahomes to go drive and get a touchdown. And then in NFC, Jaden Daniels been playing spectacular football, dominant run, just playing all of his mind for a rookie. I don't like I said, man, that guy's really not a rookie quarterback. How he plays with his poise and all that, but I just think the Eagles' run game just too unstoppable, man. They on a like a historic run with this run game. Shakeups is playing out of his mind, and I think the Eagles know everything is on the line right here. They are the clear favorites. They got home field advantage. They didn't have to go to Detroit at number one seed. You're at home. You're playing a Washington team. You got to win this game. And then you didn't play Saquon in the last game. I mean, the last game of the season to get the record. So you basically saying this Super Bowl, we're going to win the Super Bowl. So you got to win this game if you're the Eagles. So I think that's a lot of pressure on them, and they knows that. Then they're going to come out playing with fire, playing with an edge. I think they come out and win this game, and I think they win. Uh, I think it'd be like they'll win like a 10-point game. It'll be like a one possession game.
Man,
Eagles
man.
Eagles win double digits. It, I think it'd be like a one possession game. Washington has to get a stop to win, to get the ball back. And I think Eagles just put it away, go down the field and kick a field goal to put it away. So yeah, Jaden Daniels once again spectacular season. I just think the Eagles has a much better defense than Detroit. It's a rookie quarterback. They're going to find ways to try to disturb in the playoffs on the road playoff game. I think the historic run of Jaden Daniels comes to an end, and we got Eagles and Bills for the Super Bowl.
No, there's no way. Jaden's gonna represent us Jadens well, and I think that he's I can't really. Oh my, I'm at a loss for words.
Look, once again, like I said, he's playing all his line and he's playing great football.
Yeah.
But and then you said 38-24. You think Washington's going to blow Eagles out in Philly like that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I know.
Yes.
I really like the Commanders. I like what they have done. Dan Quinn, all those offense coordinator, all those guys. But I think the Eagles can arguably have the best roster in football.
Really.
Yeah, I just
The
don't.
game plan is if you stop Saquon, you stop Philly. That's that simple. It's
Okay,
that
yeah,
simple.
you can say that. You can say that. But Jalen Hurts has legs too, and he can run the football. He ran for 70 yards against the Rams in the snow. Of course, his throwing has not been what it needs to be, but he haven't needed to do that to
Exactly.
win. He hasn't needed to throw the
Exactly.
ball.
But you know how that commander defense is. They're
Yeah,
gonna they're gonna
okay.
they're gonna
They,
get
they they
them.
they are a very opportunistic defense, and they like to force turnovers. But bro, Jane Daniels gonna have to play a flawless game just for this game to even come down to one possession. That's what I'm saying.
Uh, oh my
He
God,
really
I
hasn't
can't
made
with
he
this.
really hasn't made that big mistake yet.
I
But
can't
I
hear
think
it.
it's coming, and I think if the Washington turns his ball over one or two times, it's over.
Okay,
Philly's going to
okay.
capitalize on that. And you know
We
Saquon's playing out his mind. You can say stop the run all you want. You can know the run coming, but that Philly offensive line and Saquon is just on the tear right now.
Well, we just have to agree to disagree because I don't know about all that, but
Hey, hey, we will see.
oof.
We will see
we
after Sunday.
we gonna see. Yeah, we are definitely gonna see.
Eagles, Bills, for sure.
No, mm-mm. Unfortunately, I do want the Bills to win. I think the Chiefs will win, but I do want the Bills to win because I'm tired of hearing about my homie. But no, I think
Yeah.
the Commanders are winning that for sure.
Hey, we will see.
We gonna see.
I think Eagles just control that game from start to finish. They're the
Ooh.
better team. They're the better team on paper. They're the better team on the field.
All
They have
right.
more weapons.
When the
But
Commanders win, I'm playing this episode back. Don't. Hey, I'm playing it back. I'm playing it back.
we will see. We will see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Let's move to the
Mm-mm-mm.
Pro Bowl that's coming up next week after the conference championships. As the Ravens have 9 Pro Bowl selections with the most 4 starters who lead, and they lead the league in players and starters. So shout out to the Ravens. And
Out.
the AFC starting AFC Pro Bowl quarterbacks were Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. And the guy who people would say and we know who's the best guy in football was not on the Pro Bowl roster this year. What do you got to say about that, Jaden?
Man, it just shows the power of the whistle. Just shows the power of the whistle. I'm telling y'all, that defense is what's really is what helps him in the games. When you sit here and you blow right by him, up, flag on the play, targeting. No, it wasn't. So yeah, but I'm honestly glad to see Joe Burrow in there. I mean, yes, he's not like team wise, they don't have the best record over there in Cincinnati, but I do think he's been playing out of his mind. And honestly, if he had a better record, he definitely would be in the MVP conversation as well. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, for sure.
I know a lot of people find something wrong with this because he is the best guy in football. I mean, I
Hmm.
just can't take it away from him. He is the best quarterback in football. No question, doubt by Mahomes. But Mahomes have not played that great this season. He
No,
hasn't.
no,
I mean,
no.
he played much better to end off the season. But I remember at one point at the beginning of the season, Mahomes had the same amount of interceptions that he had touchdowns,
Yeah,
and they would still find ways to win. That's why people always discredit that defense. The Chiefs' defense is legit. The defense coordinator is legit. He's a Super Bowl winner with the Giants and the Chiefs. He's a legit guy, and he knows what he's doing. And that defense, like I said last year on the playoff run, the defense played a crucial role in that Super Bowl run. So yeah, and I mean I understand Mahomes and the Chiefs. They went 15-2. Yeah, Burrow went 9-8, but look at Burrow's stats, man. This is the Pro Bowl is clearly a single it's a single player accomplishment
hmm
to acknowledge the single player, and I think they got it right. Josh Allen, Lamar, clearly your top 2 MVPs, and Joe Burrow is having probably one of the best seasons in probably past history for a quarterback. So I
yeah,
think they clearly got it right with that. I could understand why people is mad because once again, Mahomes is the best guy in football, no doubts, not taking that away from him. But this season, I think they got it right for the AFC quarterbacks.
yeah. It's
And
just
yeah,
that he's the big money maker. That's pretty
yeah,
much it.
for sure. And then with the NFC, it was Jay Daniels, Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, and I think I agree with that too. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that's a great list. Can't compete with the or AFC, but still a
Yeah,
great list anyway.
I mean, but if you look at, I mean, not just say that. If you look at the comparison of the NFC 3 to the AFC 3, it's like a big conspiracy there. It's a big,
Hmm.
to me, a big talent gap.
Yeah, for sure. But you do have you have a rookie quarterback, in the list, so he'll
Yeah,
have time to grow and develop and all
yeah,
that. But as of right now,
and like Sam Darnold truly deserved it. Sam Darnold played a phenomenal season. People, I mean,
hmm
those last 2 games wasn't what the Vikings obviously wanted. He played two
yeah,
good teams, the Lions and the Rams. He didn't play great in those games, but you can't take away from all the other games, the
hmm
whole regular season. All right, man. So as we know, NFL draft is coming up. Got top college players. Jaden, who do you think the top 5 picks would be and why?
I gotta go with the Heisman. The Heisman at number one. Travis going to the Titans.
Okay.
Phenomenal season. Obviously, he won the Heisman. Duh. But I just feel like the Tennessee would really need somebody of his caliber right about now in order to start their rebuilding process or really expand on their rebuilding process for sure. But yeah, I could see him being that guy to help them out. As for
So I got a
the
question. So do you think the Titans going to stick with Will Levis, and try him out for one more year and see if can
I
he
think so.
develop?
I think so. Especially if they work him in the offseason. If they work him for in the offseason, yes. I think that he'll be all right, especially with him having a good target like Hunter, you know. I think they can definitely win more than 3 games next year. So, yeah. But yeah, I think he'll go number one. And then as for my number two, I got his buddy going to New York, Shador. Um, Great quarterback. I know they had a bunch of quarterback issues in the beginning of the year. And I think that him being there, especially, he might not start out initially, but he will definitely work his way into it if he doesn't already start. So I could see him fitting in well over there as well. He have great targets like Malik Neighbors too, and Darius Slayton, former Auburn player. So yeah, I could see him going there. And then
All right,
I
hold on.
have
We skipped two. I'm sorry. So you guys should do.
skip two.
Browns have number two pick.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. Sorry. Cleveland. Here we're going to Cleveland. That's what I meant. I have Cam Ward instead. Sorry, I read that wrong. Cam Ward going to the Giants. So yeah, I think
So we got Shadur
he'll
Cleveland. And
Shador Cleveland. So yeah, Cam will have Malik Neighbors and Darius Slayton. That's my bad. But yes, I think him being able to run, him being able to throw, he's a deep threat quarterback too. So I think he'll be able to hit them in their spots as well. That'd be awesome. Ashton Genty. Everybody got him low. I don't know why. He was number two on the Heisman list. Number two by like a couple votes too.
I mean, dude, the running back position is highly overlooked in the
It
NFL.
really is. It really is. But I honestly would have put him at five going to the Jags, but they do have Tank Bigsby, also a former Auburn player. Um, and I think he's done phenomenal this year. So I wouldn't want to put Genty over there, well, because that's like how Kirk Cousins and Mike Penix was earlier in the year. You know, they were debating between them, but I think he would fit in well on the Patriots. Um, they're struggling as we saw. They are definitely struggling. So they'll need
They
all the
might
help
got a
they
little
can
hope
get.
when they went out and got Mike Vrabel, so they did.
Yeah. hmm And then I got Abdul Carter going to the Jags too. I got him as my last pick. So who are yours though?
All right, so obviously it's totally different from yours. I
Man,
just think I honestly don't think Will Levis is the guy for Tennessee. They gave him a year this year. They tested him out the year before that a little bit. I just don't think he's the guy. He's very careless with the ball. A lot of turnovers. I mean, as you see, people seen on live TV, the coach like saying, "What the are you doing?"
yeah.
Like he
hmm
just like lost the ball. So I got Cam Ward going to the Titans. Obviously, um, I honestly think Shadur is the better quarterback, which a lot of people don't think. Because if you look at Shadur's stats with that horrible Colorado offensive line, it's just still flawless for what he's done. So I got Cam Ward going first to the Titans. I think Titans move on from Will Levis, trade him off somewhere for like a little pick or something. Will Levis probably go be a backup somewhere and develop that way. And then with the Browns, they still have to pay Deshaun Watson. And I know a rookie deal is not that much for a quarterback, but I mean, I think they still want to try to get something out of Deshaun Watson. But as you've seen, Deshaun Watson he had to get another surgery, so he's probably not going to play this season. But I
Yeah.
think the Browns don't blow the chance of passing up the Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter, who can play DB and he can help him on the wide receiver side, which I do think he can play both ways at a pretty high level. So I think I got the Browns drafting Travis Hunter, and I think
Oh,
they figure out their quarterback situation a year from now. I think they don't pass up on Travis Hunter, a generational player. And then the Giants. I mean, we seen he's been in New York. He was throwing passes with Malik Neighbors in the just in the neighborhood. You really don't see that throwing quarterback around receiver throwing passes on the streets. I got Shadur going to the Giants. As we know, that quarterback has just been the quarterback room in there has just been horrible this year. They paid Daniel Jones the big bucks. Daniel Jones wasn't that guy. I think they go and they draft Shadur this year. And then I got Abdul Carter going to the Pats because if you look at it, the Pats were last in sacks in the league. Last. I mean, Patriots are really known for playing hard, physical defense, and they're really not never last in the league in sacks. So I think they need to revive that pass rush, and they go out and get a dual quarter. And then I don't think a lot of people don't agree with this, but I think the Jazz go get Tutorio McMillan from Arizona, the wide receiver.
Okay. Okay. Hot take.
Okay, yeah, because the Jazz they just went and hired the offensive coordinator from the Bucks, which is a good guy, and he's an offensive minded guy. I mean, whatnot. I mean, Trevor Lawrence. I was a big Trevor Lawrence guy coming in, but Trevor Lawrence has not been playing his best ball these past couple years. So why not go out, get him another weapon, and why not go out and get him another weapon? I think he's once again head coach is an former offense coordinator, offensive minded guy. I think they don't pass up on the top wide receiver in the draft, and they go get Tutorio McMillan from the Jazz.
Okay.
And then
Nah.
Go with your Genty pick, I just don't think Genty's going to go that high. Once again, Genty is a great player. He is. If you look at his yards after contact, one guy cannot take him down. He has strong legs. He runs powerful. He runs tough.
Exactly.
But once again, like I said, the running back position is always overlooked in the NFL, and I think he will fall into like the 15 range. I'll be surprised if Dallas has that pick. If he's still on the board when Dallas has the chance to get him, I'll be highly surprised if Dallas passes up on Genty because their run game has been horrible, atrocious.
Yeah.
So I will be surprised if Dallas passes up on him. But if he does go that high, obviously they won't have the chance to get him. But yeah.
Well, personally, I think that Dallas's management game has been awful these past couple. You know
the Eric and Jerry Jones.
Jerry. You gotta go. I'm not gonna lie, you gotta go. But I mean, I agree with you on that too. If he doesn't go pretty high, I can't see Dallas if he's still there at least passing up on him in that situation. So yeah, I can see that.
All right, and as we was talking, college football hire. I mean, not NFL new hires. Been a lot of NFL hires this season. I mean, this off season so far for the teams that haven't made the playoffs. So we'll start off with which hire did you like the most and why?
Man, I like that Pete Carroll's back.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll is back in the NFL. Outside of that, passing.
I'm sorry. Like, let me name the NFL hire. So you got the New York Jets.
Yeah.
They went out and got Aaron Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then you got the Bears. They went and got Ben Johnson. So the Lions, after that loss, they go out and lose their offense coordinator and their defense coordinator.
Yeah,
the Raiders go out and hire former Seahawks coach Pete Carroll. He's 73 age, which is but I think he did a good job done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the Jaguars when they hired the Bucks offense coordinator, former offense coordinator, and that was a lot of drama between that because if I'm not mistaken, he had just re-signed a new deal with the Bucks, right, to become one of the highest paid offense coordinator. And then like a day later, he go take the head coaching job with the Jazz, which is very.
But hey, you get more say when it comes to being a head coach versus just a coordinator. So I understand. You probably weren't expecting that or something, but hey, get your money, man.
Yeah, I would say the way probably the Jazz and him probably handled it was very kind of poorly, but I strongly agree with him with taking a head coaching job.
Yeah.
But back to you with the Pete Carroll.
Like I was saying, yeah, I like the Raiders hiring Pete Carroll. Now, don't get me wrong. The Jets getting Aaron Glenn is a really good move for them. They're going to be better on the defensive side. They need that. So I'm very happy for it. And I'm very sad to hear that Detroit is losing both of their coordinators after a very
tough loss,
historic season, But anyway, yeah. Pete Carroll's back. Outside of that one play where he didn't give it to Marshawn Lynch. Outside of that, which I'm sure a lot of Seahawks fans can relate to me on that. I do like him. He's a very great football mind. I feel like he would definitely help, along with a good draft pick as well. He would definitely help with the Raiders rebuild. So I'm excited to see how that goes next year.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Ben Johnson to the Bears. I think I seen in from 2020 to 2022 span, The Lions was rated number one in offense with 28 points per game through that span with Ben Johnson as the offense coordinator. So he really got the best out of Jared Goff. And with him, with Caleb Williams, as he said, Caleb Williams is a big part of him deciding to go to the Bears. And I think
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, I mean, he didn't have his best season, but we know the Bears front office and coaching was just a disaster.
Yeah.
So I think Ben Johnson can go out and figure out what works for Caleb Williams and get the best out of Caleb Williams. So I think that was an amazing hire because as the Bears started 4-2 this season, and then they went like on a 9-game losing streak, which is not that great. And they're in a tough division. So I think Ben Johnson brings a spark to that offense and bring a little bit back life to Chicago. I don't think it all happens in one season, but I do think they're on the rise for improvement. And with the Pete Carroll one, I really like that one too. Not gonna lie, I think it was a kind of not a surprise, but a little bit of a surprise. And then Tom Brady is kind of leading that too. He's part owner now with the Raiders. So I think with that, I think their main focus is try to build a good roster because as you
Yeah.
see, Pete Carroll won with Russell Wilson, who's a third round quarterback. Tom Brady himself, 6th-round quarterback. So they I don't think they're that much focused on the quarterback position this year in the draft and free agency. But I think they try to just build a good team around the Raiders, and then I think they both know it's going to be a long, not an overnight thing. It's going to be a little bit of a process to build that team and get them back
Yeah.
competing. Because as we know, they're in a tough division.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and then
the
with the
number.
AFC, yeah, with that conference, with that division head coaches, like dude, that's a stat coach. You got Pete Carroll, Andy Reid, Harbaugh, and Payne. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
I think he'll get it done. I got faith in him.
So yeah, I think that's wraps it up really for the football today. I'm passing my boy Jaden as he's gonna lead us to what's going on in basketball.
My sport. All right. So let's recap some college ball here, guys. Number 13, Texas A&M played number 16, Ole Miss, and this was on Wednesday. That was a nail biter. The Aggies come out on top by 1 point, and I think that 1 point that they won by was their first lead of the entire game. So that was something. And they still have to face Missouri, Tennessee, and Auburn before the season is out and the SEC tournament begins. So, with that being said, I think that they are going to do fairly well in the SEC. However, those three names I just mentioned are going to be probably their toughest games yet, well, coming up. So, yeah, well, I'm looking forward to those games as well. And on to the next, we have number 10 Marquette versus Villanova, and Marquette won by 7. Marquette faces UConn twice, St. John and St. John's, who's been on a tear this season before the season's out. So I think they also have a good couple games to look forward to as well. And number 21, Michigan versus number 11, Purdue. Purdue dominated in that game. They won 91-64 and faced Michigan State, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Illinois, and Michigan before the season's out. So all the teams pretty much at this point have pretty good games to look forward to. It's about that time too. We're getting close to our favorite time of the year,
March
March
Madness.
Madness. And
Yeah. Hold
speaking of March Madness,
hold on, Jay. Not to brag nothing about those games, but if you watched the last episode, I went 3-0 in those picks, man. I went 3-0.
okay, okay, okay.
I
All
went
right,
3-0 in
all right.
those picks. He picked Ole Miss to win. I picked Texas A&M. Texas A&M with the late comeback in the 3 for the lead to win the game. Just not to brag or nothing, but that's a nice
Mhm.
3-0. I'm going to take that one. So, yeah. Glad for
Uh,
you.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Yes. But speaking of March Madness, let's talk about the number ones. And what number ones you might be asking? I mean the number ones in each division of the tournament. Now, for me, I think the South will be ran by none other than the Auburn University Tigers. And I say that because not only are they the unanimous, don't forget, like I said last episode, unanimous number one pick, I think that they have been dominant and will continue to be dominant, especially tomorrow on Saturday with Tennessee coming to town, and I think they'll also dominate at Bama and home against Bama, and also against every other team. I honestly think if Auburn genuinely locks in, especially until Broom gets back and stays even more locked in when he does, they can genuinely go undefeated in SEC play. It's very hard to do. The SEC conference is the toughest to play in this year, but it is very possible. And I am rooting for my Tigers no matter what. And as for the South, I think that Cooper Flag and the Duke Blue Devils will reign in that region. They are the number two team and Auburn's only loss. So in order I think they've built up a very awesome resume this year as well. They've beaten pretty much every blue blood and Auburn as well. So as long as they continue to stay consistent and dominant, they'll be fine there. In the West, I know, think that is Alabama's region, and I don't have Alabama winning that game or winning that, getting number one in that region. I think that'll be Houston because Houston gave Auburn a run for their money, and they've given every team a hard time. And one thing about the Houston Cougars, their coach instills hard work and perseverance in each and every one of those players. They definitely have done that so far, and I can see them doing that up into and through the tournament as well. And as for the Midwest, I have Iowa State. Iowa State has been dominant all year long. Their defense is amazing. I think that they will they will definitely come out on top in that region at the number one spot, but I would like to see how far they get as well.
Okay.
Now, I do want to ask you, who do you have for your picks?
Okay. For the South, I think we both agreeing. Auburn takes the South, man. And I think that would be very big for Auburn to play
Yes.
right in
Hmm.
Atlanta, very close, like an hour away from your home. All your fans going to be there. It will be a very
Yeah.
home court
Like
advantage.
like
If you
Bruce
made this,
always says, we travel well. We have definitely done that this year. I think that with it being in Atlanta for Auburn, especially if they get to that point, it will be awesome, having pretty much Neville Arena go from here in Auburn over to Atlanta. Everyone's gonna be there. It's not that far of a drive, so
right
I know
across the street.
I'd make it. I would make it
Yeah,
honestly. If
yeah,
I could, I'd make it.
right across the street.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then in the East, I got Duke. Once again,
Yeah.
Duke is Auburn's only loss. Duke is playing phenomenal football. They arguably have the best player in college basketball. He's up there. He's just a freshman. He's number one. He's projected to go number one in the draft for a reason. Cooper Flag is
Yeah.
that guy. He's tough. Duke will be the number one seed in there, and I could see Duke going on a big run in March Madness. And then I'm gonna go a little bit different from you right here. In the Midwest, I got Florida. Florida. I
Mm.
think Florida is a very underrated team. They play good basketball. As you see what they did to Tennessee, they play hard physical defense. Florida had us right. Florida was just in the SEC championship last year, right there with Auburn. Had a chance to beat Auburn. Florida plays great basketball. I like their coach and everything about them. And then in the West, I'm going Marquette. I think Marquette is a very sneaky team. They play great basketball, and yeah, they can shoot the ball well. They might be a little bit undersized, but I do really like Marquette to win the West, and I like them to be number one seed. And I mean, if you look at their schedule, they have a couple tough games, but I don't think it's as tough as the other teams. As
Yeah.
Auburn still has a tough SEC stretch. Florida does it well. The SEC is
Yeah.
a tough conference in general. Yeah,
Hmm.
and yeah,
Well, let's move on to the NBA. So, recent games, SGA just dropped 54 points, and Jokic he dropped 35, 20, and 15 in one game. That's right, one game. And those are the top two in the MVP ladder as well. I think SGA is number one with Jokic right behind him. I think, honestly, this year's MVP in the NBA is just like this year's MVP in the NFL. It's going to be down to the wire. Honestly, as the time for announcement comes, people I've been hearing in the NFL, oh, why not just have co MVPs? It might get to that point as the season comes to a close in the NBA as well. But I honestly do not want two MVPs at one time. I think one person deserves it. Keep it the way it's always been. So there's that, and the Lakers roll past Boston at home.
Yeah, no, sure. Of course, shout out to our Lakers. But I'm going to come right back to my Lakers. But to piggyback off SGA, man, 54 points was his career high. I
Hmm.
mean, it was the Utah Jazz, which we know is not really a good
Yeah.
basketball team. But hey, it's the NBA team. So shout out to Shea, who's a walking bucket, playing the best ball of his career, obviously, and they're the number one seed in the West. And Jokic, man, Jokic, that guy just, I don't know. He's a walking triple double. I mean, he's just playing out his mind. Had 35, 20, and 15. I think to be exact, it was 35, 22, and 15, but it's a
Hmm.
35, 20, 15 game. But yeah, Jokic put up 35, 20, 15. He's a walking triple double. That guy, I don't like to say it, but he's the best player in basketball. He's the best
Right
player in
now.
basketball.
Yeah.
And I got to
Hmm.
give all my props to him. He just, his IQ level is just very high, and way he just controls the game. And Denver, they started off a little bit slow. Denver is like, they're getting
They're
back
picking up.
they're
Hmm.
getting back to where they used to be 2 years ago. And then, hey, how about that late show, man? How about that late show, man? And I know a lot of people want to say about Boston playing back to back and all that. Three of their rotation players didn't even play against the Clippers. We don't want to hear nothing about back to back. Late show came up and we showed out. So shout out to my Lakers man. That was a big win for us. Like I say, I wish we could play like that every night. I wish we could play like that every night. We played a phenomenal game, great defense, and we shot that three ball amazing. If we can get that three ball going like that, man, we're gonna be a dangerous team. And and not to say nothing, but did you see that 40-year-old just
Oh.
dunking the ball like that, man? Did you see that 40-year-old dunking the ball like that, man? Like that's like, hey man, that I don't, hey,
Oh my gosh.
I'm
But
just gonna say this, who else, he's my goat, but
look,
who the other people call it
look,
goat.
look,
He could never at
look,
40. That's all
look.
I'm saying.
You want to talk about the 40-year-old this, the 40-year-old that? What about that 36-year-old right down the road, huh? What about this team? What about this team?
Hey,
Y'all play the Warriors next.
yeah, yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
play the
of
Warriors
course,
next.
and it's no
Peep
worse.
and look, peep the jersey too. Peep the jersey. Yeah, custom
Hey,
jersey, everything.
look, you can wear that
Come
all you
on.
want. I don't think that jersey's gonna give you
No.
a win because hey,
Yes, it is.
you see what
Oh
happened.
my
You
God.
see
Oh
what
my
happened Christmas. You see what happened in the playoffs when
Exactly. Exactly. My
yeah,
point
and you see
exactly.
and you
Yes.
see
Yeah. Okay. The
and you
Warriors
see
lost
what happened.
Christmas,
Yeah, 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 y'all lost. I know y'all lost.
but
And
that's gonna fuel us. That's what I'm telling you. The
it can
Warriors
fuel
are
you all
going
you
to
want. It can
bounce
fuel you all
back.
you want. And I told you, LeBron gets the best of Curry all the
No, he
time.
does not. Three,
Yes,
3-1, three and
okay.
one,
We
three
know.
and one,
Oh my God!
three
So
and
we're not gonna act
one.
like Draymond. We're not gonna act like Draymond and go to the parking lot crying and praying for KD to come to the Warriors after the 3-1 collapse.
It don't matter. Who has more rings against the
Check.
other?
If you
Who
look at
has more?
if you
Who
look at
has more
Hey,
rings
Dan,
against the other?
if you look at the record, if you look at the
Record what?
record without KD, LeBron clearly gets the best of Curry. Clearly, yes, KD came and saved the Warriors. It still was Curry team, but we know KD came and saved the Warriors. And I'm not taking that away from Curry, but hey, once again,
Curry won before and Curry won after.
yeah, shout
So
out to Curry.
it don't matter.
I'm
It
not taking
don't
that away
matter
from
whether
Curry.
KD was there or not. That ring was ours.
All
The
right, I'm just
ring
gonna
was
say this:
ours.
last time in the playoffs, head to head, LeBron versus Curry in the second round, Lakers rolled past the Warriors 4-2. We sent y'all to Cancun. That's all I'm saying.
But who got swept in the finals?
But y'all didn't do it. Y'all didn't do it.
What you mean?
Huh? Oh,
Yes,
you
yes we
talking about
did.
2018? Oh my God!
It
Did you
don't
not see
matter.
that?
It still happened.
Did you
Oh my
not?
gosh.
Do you not see that Cavs roster that year?
Oh,
LeBron clearly,
it doesn't matter.
LeBron put that team on his back that whole year by himself.
It doesn't matter. It
By
doesn't matter.
himself.
Oh
We
my
knew y'all was.
goodness.
We knew we wasn't winning that.
Oh,
Everybody knew they was the
oh,
Cavaliers wasn't beating that Golden State team, man. Be for real.
this is hurting my head. This oof. These lies I'm hearing right now hurt my head. But look,
And I'm
let's
pretty
put
sure.
out
And I'm pretty sure. In that loss, Bron still averaged probably 30, 10, and 8 probably.
all I'm gonna say. We win it head to head. We win it head to head
Hey, we'll see.
in the
We'll see.
finals. Yeah, we gonna see all right. And
Yeah.
when the next episode drop, I'll put one of these jerseys back on
Oh,
just for you,
I don't think
just
you
for
want to wear
you.
it. Wait,
Why?
I think this is where my Lakers we're going our run right here. This is where we're
Okay.
going our run. The
Okay.
Boston
Okay.
win is going to fuel our run for right here. We're fifth
Okay.
in the West. We're fifth in the West, which is where we want to be right now. We're fifth in the West. I like where we are. Meanwhile, y'all 11th in the West. Not to diminish
Yeah,
y'all.
no, 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 no. I understand we're having a rough season. I understand that. I understand that entirely. But that is okay because you know what happened? We had one of our worst years, 21. And what happened 22?
Hey, you can speak about the past. Curry's aging. Curry's not going to get any younger.
LeBron's older.
Do you not see
LeBron
what
is
do you not see what
older.
he's doing on a daily night?
I don't care what he's doing. He's
Do you not
older.
see what he's doing on a daily night?
Curry is fine right now.
LeBron could play this for the next 10 years if he wanted to.
10?
10
Nah,
years if he
buddy.
wanted to.
Nah, but okay, if LeBron can play for the next 10 years, if he spends about 50 million on his body a year.
Hey, we don't need to get into how much he spent on his body here. He take care of his body to make
All
sure
right.
he can
You
play
know
at the
what?
highest
You know
level.
what? You know what? I I ain't getting through to you, obviously. So let's just move on. Let's talk about, well, actually, let's shift a little bit. We'll still stay on your lake show because you love your lake show. But let's talk about how AD was saying that he wants to play the four now. What you think about that?
We've been saying this for years, man. We know Rob Pelinka. I don't know what's going on with Rob Pelinka. He knows he needs to make a move. LeBron and AD has been saying they're not happy with this roster for the past probably 2 seasons now. And everyone knows we need a big. If you look at our 2020 championship roster, you had AD playing the four, you had JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard playing the five, and AD was playing top level basketball, and we won the championship. We need a five. We need a five bad. And if you look at, I just want to, we struggle against Denver, and you see how Minnesota beat Denver. They throw
Hmm.
the two big. They run the two bigs. They throw the different bodies at Jokic to try to throw him off. And that's what we need. We need another big because when AD comes off the court, who do we have? Jackson Hayes.
Yeah,
I mean,
not anybody like solid for real.
yes,
So,
So Rob Pelinka, bro, you got those two first round picks. You got to go make a move. You got
hmm,
to go make a move. I mean, I
yeah.
know Vando's supposed to be coming back, but we have to let go of Vando. You got to send him. If you got to get rid of Gabe Vincent, you got to send him. I
Mm.
mean, hey, if it's for the right guy, which I'm a big AR fan, and the Lakers have kind of clearly made it clear that AR is untouchable. But if it's for a superstar, maybe. But I'm a big AR guy. I like AR, and I believe trusting AR. But we do have to make a move before the trade deadline if we expect to want to compete for a championship. If I had a preferable player, I like Vucevic on the Bulls. He's a big. He can stretch the floor. Vucevic can shoot the three. He can shoot the
Hmm.
three really good. He can rebound. He can play defense when he really want to. But he might have to worry about that. AD will be roaming around at the four, coming to help and blocking shots. So yeah, and like AD said, he played his best ball when he at the four. If you're a superstar telling you they play their best ball when they're at the four, you clearly should go out and give him a big man. And I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know if this guy can still play anymore right now. I mean, he looks in shape. He led us to a championship. I mean, I don't know why. Like even last season, we didn't go out and reach out to Dwight and say, "Hey, Dwight,
He been saying for years, "Hey, I want to come back. I'm ready whenever." But ain't
we,
nobody said nothing to him.
we,
So,
we don't even need him to score for it. We just need him to probably catch a couple of odds, play
hmm,
defense, and rebound. That's all
yeah,
we need. That's all we need. But I think Vucevic would be a great acquired because he can spread out the floor more and not have the paint clouded up. And he can shoot the three
yeah.
ball very well. And now that clear up lanes for LeBron and Reeves to go in there and draw fouls. And LeBron's unstoppable one on one going to the paint. So yeah, so yeah. I
I,
mean,
I think the Lakers.
Rob Pelinka got to do it. Like I say once again, as I said, your guy Curry is running out of time. LeBron is running out of time. He's not
Hmm.
going. He's just not going to play that much longer, as he clearly said. So you need to.
Hmm.
I know you're trying to make a move to plan for the future, but the goal is always to win now, and we need to try to
Yeah,
win now. So yeah,
I know they all like Curry and LeBron are always saying in the media. They're always getting questions about when are you planning on retiring, or how long do you think you got left, how much gas you got left in the tank, stuff like that. So I know getting help for LeBron now is important to y'all, just like getting help for Curry is important to us right now. And speaking of getting help and players moving around, Jimmy down in South Beach, he got suspended for 2 games for missing a flight. And personally, if all this settles down and he does end up getting traded, I would like for him to at least consider the Warriors maybe because Curry could definitely use the help and get some because Curry once he crosses half court he's getting triple quadruple teamed all the time. Giving it to another like passing the ball to another superstar that would greatly help our team. We just lost Clay in the offseason, unfortunately, and he's actually doing a little bit better honestly. But I think that getting Jimmy over to the Bay would definitely help. And if that doesn't work out, I could also see him going. If they trade Bradley Beal, I think he could go over to Phoenix as well. He would fit in over there as
Yeah, I
well, I
think they
think.
with Phoenix. I think the Phoenix need like a third team in that trade for some reason or something to make it
Yeah.
work or something. I see. Yeah,
hmm
Bradley Beal haven't been that happy with Budenholzer in the Sun.
Yeah. But where do you think he could go, if anywhere?
Yeah. So obviously, Jimmy Butler. I think he got suspended like 7 games before that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, and he came back and played like two, and then he just spent 2 more for missing the team flight. He's been finding a lot of money. I mean, I just think Miami. I mean, you clearly. I mean, you didn't make it clear, but I mean, you obviously don't want to give the guy what he wants to be paid. So I
Yep.
just say trade him. I mean, trade him and get something out of it instead of just letting him walk. I mean, you get what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
not there's. I mean, Jimmy Butler has not been playing his best ball as of lately, but the guy did lead y'all to 2 finals appearances, 2 of
Exactly.
them, and he carried the way. Because
Especially in that bubble, he carried,
yes,
especially
and then
then.
the second time they were the 8 seed.
Yeah.
They
Beat
beat
the one
Milwaukee.
seed
Yeah,
Bucks.
and they went and beat Boston in 7. So I mean,
Yeah.
shout out to Jimmy Butler. He's going to do that for that heat culture. But I think the time has come to an end. He said he want to retire in Miami Heat and all that. But as you see, things are just clearly not working out. But like I say, I do think he will be a great fit for your Warriors. I do think he will,
Yeah.
and I think they just give a second option, a second scorer to go out there and hopefully give you 20 a night. You're gonna have to give up some for him, probably some of those young players you obviously are. But I think he'll be a great addition to Curry. As like Jamie doesn't need the ball really. We know Curry doesn't need the ball. Curry is probably the best off-ball player there is. So I
hmm
don't think there'll be no confusion in that. And I think him and Draymond Egos, they both very competitive. They like to win. I think they'll find a way to be very competitive and play great defense. So yeah, I do think he'll be a great addition to your Warriors. But also, I mean, Milwaukee is an underdog in the East. And I think Milwaukee, Chris Middleton is just not the
He ain't
it's
what he
not the
used to
same
be.
no more.
Yeah.
I really think, they probably really ready to move on from Chris Middleton. So I think Jimmy Butler will really put Milwaukee up there
hmm
and over the edge to compete with Boston and
Yeah.
compete with the Knicks roster and compete with the Cavs, which the Eastern Conference, those top I think it's like that top four and then everybody up under them. Like I
Yeah.
think it's very much close at that. So I do see the Warriors in Milwaukee. And I see that I think one of his preferred destinations was Houston, which is a young
Yeah.
team playing very good in the West right now. And he has the experience and NBA championship experience at that. So I think he could lead that young team, and help them probably make a playoff run if he went there. But yeah, I think the best fit for him, if he want to win right now, would be the Warriors or the Bucks. But yeah,
I can rock with those because the Warriors, I could see his ego clashing with Draymond. It might start off a little rough in the beginning stages, but eventually it'll like come together. It'll push everybody to be better, play better, try like, put in more effort and practice and stuff like that. And that'll really like mesh the team well and everything. I think if he were to go to my not into Houston, nobody on that team really has true championship experience. And him having it, he could be that leader. He could be that guy on the team's like, hey, you know, y'all got to put in more effort because y'all aren't doing enough to make a championship. Sure, you're a young team, but young teams have done it before, and you as well can do it too. So I can see those going pretty well for him as well. And take a little shift, move on a few weeks from now. The second favorite time of the year for basketball fans, first being March Madness, second coming right before it, would be All-Star Weekend. And the starters were just announced. For the West, the starters are, let's see. The starters are Stephen Curry, SGA, Jokic, KD, and LeBron. How do you feel about that roster for the West?
honestly, I don't think it could have went either other way. I think it's the perfect roster. I think the backcourt, SGA was a guaranteed lock from the start. You
hmm
cannot host the All Star in San Francisco and not have Curry start.
Come on now. Come on
it's
now.
just not going to happen. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. And then with Luka not playing as much, when Luka being out this year hurt, I mean, Luka is usually always in that starting lineup, but Luka is not
Hmm.
playing this year. But yeah, you're not going to have a thing in San Francisco and not have Curry start.
Exactly. And
LeBron, LeBron, 20, LeBron, 24, 8, and 9, and at 40. Come on, man, that's just unthought of. It's unthinkable. I don't think you can't have him not in there.
mhm,
And then KD is playing great ball right now. What's KD
yeah.
at? KD's actually 27, 6, and 4.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then Jokic, that's a guaranteed lock too. Jokic is a
Yeah.
walk triple double. Jokic averaging 30, 13, and 10. He averages a 30-point triple double right there. And then I do see when Wemby is playing out his mind too, and he had a lot of votes. I could see Wemby could have got in there. But do you put Wemby over LeBron? Do
No.
you put Wemby over KD?
No.
Maybe, but that's Kevin Durant we're talking about.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best scorers ever. He's still playing out his mind right now, so I don't think you put it over him, and you're definitely not putting him in over Jokic. But yeah, can I see Wemby being a starter in the future years? Of course, but right
Yeah.
now, I think in the West they got it right. I think those should be the 5 starters.
Yeah. We'll get into snubs in a minute, but for the East, I wanted to say that Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Cat, Jason Tatum, and Giannis were all the starters for the East. And honestly, I could same thing for the West. I don't really see much changing. Like I don't see a lot of players who could have, swapped in and out of that starting lineup. I think that's the best roster you can get out of the East as well.
Okay, here's my thing. Once
Hmm.
again, I always say the All Star is kind of it's a player award. It is. It's a
Yeah.
player accomplishment award. And I mean, they do kind of look at the team record sometime a little bit, which I feel like they shouldn't. But I honestly felt like LaMelo Ball should have got in over Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
And I'm
Okay.
not going to say he should have got in over Donovan Mitchell because Donovan Mitchell is first in the East. They're playing on it. Their team is playing great ball right now. They're the best record in the NBA tie with OKC. So I do think LaMelo Ball should have got in over Jalen Brunson. As Ball averaged 29, 5, and 8. He's down there. He's really averaging 30 points a game. I
Hmm.
mean, and Bronson is actually 26, 3, and 7, which is right there. But I honestly, my pick would have been LaMelo Ball and Donovan Mitchell for the front court.
Okay. Well, my who I personally think got snubbed, I could agree with you on Wemby. I do think Wemby's playing great. I saw a stat where he has blocked at least one time 44% of his opponents, and that's awesome, like a huge stat. And I also think that Tyrese Maxey got snubbed because, like you said, people do look into team records and team accolades and stuff like that. And of course, with Jared McCain going down and being out and being out consistently for whatever reason, um, I think that genuinely did hurt him when it comes to how his team looks. But he's leading his team in 3 out of the 5 major categories. So I think he's been playing awesome, but it's just really competitive in this year in the East. And the East is honestly catching up to the West. I will say that the East is definitely catching up, especially with the three-headed goat of Curry, LeBron, and KD getting older. I think the East is definitely going to catch up. And once they're gone, it might even be neck and neck again. But yeah, I think he definitely could have made it as well as a starter, in my opinion. But as for the reserves have not been announced yet. That will be announced on Thursday, January 30th at 6 on Central Standard
Yeah, but
Time.
I do think all those guys should make the reserves if they.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
I think they are very locked for the reserves. I really do.
Now, as for the other festivities, oh, also before I get into that, how do you feel about the new format with there being 4 teams this year instead of two?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. I
Mm,
I wasn't a big fan of the first format when they just didn't play defense, but I did like the when they play the 3 quarters, and then hopefully if it's close enough, and then they have the goal limit to the points they have to get to. They add like 24 points to wherever they find 24 points to the top leading score. But I
hmm
did like that because in that fourth quarter, those guys are really was trying.
Yeah.
They playing hard defense. They're playing competitive. You get to see the top players playing at the top of their game, which is very interesting and intriguing. I think the first year they did it was like the most intriguing year. I think Carl Lowry was taking charges. You had Giannis versus LeBron facing off. It was great. So yeah,
Hmm.
I did like that format better because it brought more of the competitive nature. I really don't like when they just not playing defense, just letting each other score. I think it should be a little bit more competitive. And I think like people say, they should put like money prizes in it.
Yeah, for
Guys will
sure.
play. The guys will play hard then. But yeah, but I mean, I think it'll be a little bit interesting this year with the 14s maybe. But yeah, I mean, we just have to see what it does. I mean, obviously they try it out to see how it goes. They all about views and viewership. So
Yeah.
if it does great numbers and it is good, I think they're going to stick with the wall. If it doesn't, I don't know. But yeah,
I know ratings have been down a lot in the NBA recently, and personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the 14 format. I like the traditional two captains drafting, or even just, pick 15 or pick however many from one conference, and then, East versus West. That I like that one as well. But at the same time, I didn't like when they first introduced it. I didn't like the in-season tournament, and look how it turned out. Everyone loves it. So this could be another one of those things where it might not sound great on paper, but once you actually see it play out, it's actually enjoyable, and you look forward to that. And with it being a tournament now instead of just a game, it'll be a little more intriguing. So it's like, you have more on it's more on the line now as well. You have to win that first game to make the championship and stuff like that. But
yeah, because I'm not mistaken. Like it's like is it three NBA All Star teams and then one Rising 13?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think you're one of those
anybody
NBA
can win
teams.
it.
You can't go lose to those rising stars. I mean,
You
it's
can't, but
possible though.
it's possible.
It's possible, but
Hmm.
I hope you don't lose to them. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And as for the other festivities, we have, of course, the 3-point and the slam dunk competition. Now, we have no information on who exactly is going to be in them. So let's pick. I personally want, for the 3-point competition, I want Steph, Tyler Hero, Trey Young, Dame Dalla, and LaMelo Ball in the 3-point contest. They're all great shooters. Steph and Dame historically, Tyler Hero's been hot this year. Trey Young is always he's had Steph Curry comparisons, coming into the league, and so far he's lived up to it. Not, at the level of Steph Curry, but he's lived up to the expectations. And LaMelo Ball has been picking off has been kicked off this year pretty strong as well. So I think that he'll be, I mean, despite the record, of course, but I think they'll be doing pretty well. And I think those would be an awesome 3-point competition to watch. But who do you
yeah. I
have in
said,
there?
yeah. Let's mention like those guys have to accept the invites to go in, so it's like
Yeah,
really three
obviously.
options. So yeah, so like it'd be like the list just be like totally different sometimes. They just have to reach out to guys and all that. But yeah, so
Yeah.
like so I'm gonna start the drummer here. My first two, I'm gonna go Steph and Clay. The
Okay. Okay.
departure each other. They're Splash
It's more bad
Brothers.
blood.
They're Splash Brothers. Obviously, we know they still love each other, a lot of respect for each other. But what's better than probably to arguably the two greatest shooters of all time, especially in this era, go
Hmm.
head to head and 3-point contest. As we know, Steph is still the greatest shooter of all time. It's not even
Yeah.
close. We see what he's done in 3-point contests when he has done it. Yeah, so I got Steph and Clay and Dame.
Yes.
I think
Hmm.
Dame won it last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Dame won it. Dame won it last year. So Dame is a great shooter. And then I'm going Cat. Carl Towns. I think
I
Carl
can.
Towns
I
won
can. He's won it before. Yeah, I can
either
respect that.
either 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Cat has won one too. Cat is an underrated 3-point shooter. He can get that
Yes.
thing going. He's a big man, but and I seen like in a podcast, he say, hey, he think he can give Curry a run for his money for it. So hey, you never know. And then I'm going with a surprise. He's been shooting the ball lights out this year. He didn't shoot the ball that great for my Lakers. When he got traded to him. But I'm going with Malik Beasley. I think Malik Beasley is a very hot shooter. He does a little dance when he shoots the ball or whatever. But yeah, Malik Beasley is a very hot shooter. He didn't shoot the ball great in LA when he got traded. I don't know what it was. The lights just brighter, but not taking that
Hmm.
away from him. What he's doing in Detroit. And then I'm going to go with the guy who really doesn't get much attention for his 3-point shooting. And he's been shooting at a high percentage for like these last couple years, and he needs to lead in 3-point percentage this year. Go Luke Kennard.
Okay.
if you can shoot a high percentage and contested shots in NBA, you're wide open in this type. So I'm gonna go Luke
Yeah.
Kennard. He's not a big name, but go
Yeah.
Luke Kennard.
hmm
And he probably could get in there anyway because they're gonna reach out to the top guys first, and then they're gonna go down the list as they go. And he probably number two
But
man.
I do feel like yes, he's not the biggest name, but leading the league in 3-point percentage definitely does put a spotlight on you. So I feel like he could get that invite
Yeah,
too.
I mean, I'm gonna
It's
say it's not like it's not like he just shoots like 1 or 2 threes a game. Then he shoots a very amount of high volume per
hmm
game. He's like that's all he does, shoot threes. I mean,
Now for what everybody has been saying has been a total failure the past few years, the dunk contest. Who do you have, or who would you like to see in that this year?
all right. So obviously, the defending champion, Matt
Yes.
that guy
hmm
got ups. He's probably the only bright light in the dunk contest. You get what I'm saying?
Honestly,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was the only bright light. So yeah, I'm gonna go with him. Yeah, you got to come defend your championship. You got to. I just feel like you got to come defend that championship. Then I'm gonna go Ja.
Okay,
Ja,
yeah.
Ja can jump. I mean, once again, as you
He's in
mentioned last
there.
episode, we see what he did to Wemby. It didn't count,
hmm
but hey, we see
hmm
what he did to Wemby. But
It
yeah,
still
Ja can
happened though.
jump. And then I'm gonna go Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin does 360s and between the legs in mid game. That
In
guy can
game, yeah.
jump. He's very finesse. I don't think he's gonna go, but I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards. I think Ant is jumping out the gym. I think Ant is a very much better in game dunker, but I would like to see Ant in there, and I think it'll bring a lot of views to it. If Ant versus Shaw in there, that would be very great. And then, I mean, we know he's not doing it. I mean, but honorable mention, my guy LeBron James, man. We would have. I really would have hoped. That's like the only thing people try to say that he didn't do. That's the only thing he didn't do. He never did the dunk contest. I really think he should have done it his earlier years in
hmm
Cleveland. We know how he was jumping, and I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron is really much of a stylish dunker as much as he's really more of an in-game dunker. We don't know that, but what if at 40, he just goes out there. LeBron could
Hey,
probably just do a one-hand dunk and he'll get tens across the board. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's out there. But I mean, I know he's not going to do it at this point in his career. I know he's not going to do it. But the honorable mention goes to LeBron James, of course, the king.
I mean, the thing with LeBron is he can do some pretty crazy dunks.
Yeah,
I've seen it. He can, but it's more about the power than it is the finesse with him, and just brute strength. That's his thing more than just, oh, I'm gonna do all these tricks and whatnot, like a lot of the other guys do today. But for my picks, I can agree with you on Mac McClung. I would love to see him back. He, in my eyes, he is bringing back the dunk contest and making it something worth watching again because rather than sitting here and clicking the Netflix when the dunk contest is on, I'm like, oh, hold on, Mac McClung's in. Let me watch, see what he does, see if he wins it again. And I can also get what you behind on that. I think he's a great in-game dunker, but especially if given time and room, he will definitely show off some skills we ain't seen from him in game because that's where
yeah,
you can do whatever you want to do.
yeah. I think
So
I
I feel
we talking
like
about yeah.
hmm yeah, he can do all that. And I will surprise you with this one. I want to say Donovan Mitchell. I want to see Donovan in there. He can get up there for sure. I really do think that he will surprise a lot of people in the dunk contest if he does go. So with him being in there, he's also, I'm not going to compare him to LeBron. Don't take it like that. But just like LeBron, he's more of a power guy as well. But he has a little bit of finesse too. He does, especially back in his Utah days, he did. And I can also see John Morant as well. That dunk on Wemby, I will always mention that. But he's done it all the time. Like you very rarely do see other players throwing lobs to their point guard. That's not something you see every day. And one that a lot of people, I find a lot of people sleeping on is Paolo Banchero. I would like to see him in there.
Playing some
He's
of his best ball.
yes, he's playing some of his best ball. I've seen sometimes he's been getting some young LeBron comparisons and stuff like that. I think he can get up to it, but he ain't got there yet. But yeah, I think he'll surprise everybody as well, and that'll make a really interesting um dunk contest with him and Donovan, in my opinion.
Yeah. Man, I just think with Ant and God, that just creates,
That's yeah.
you got
Hmm.
two people who's probably gonna have to be the next face of the league. They
Yeah, like
both very
they're both known
competitive.
for dunking too.
They both very competitive. They're gonna talk their talk, no matter what. Like they'll just
Yeah,
be very competitive, very fun to watch.
it'll be a very interesting weekend, that's for sure. But that'll wrap up tonight's episode. Glad we got to talk again about some more football and basketball. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, as Jay said, I didn't get to thank you guys, but yeah, I want to say, Brand, that first episode was awesome. It was so
It
much.
was.
It was honestly better than I thought it would be, but it was. I had so
Hmm.
much fun that first episode. So once again, I want to thank all you guys for following, subscribing, sharing it out, reaching out. Once again, we said this is going to be a process, and we're going to stick with it. But yeah, I just thank you guys for that, for the tremendous amount of support.
Yes. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at beyond.bounds.podcast. Same thing for our YouTube as well.
And same for
And And yes, same for TikTok as well. We need to start growing our social brands more. So we would love to sit here and keep posting and talking and all that, but I don't want to keep this I don't want this episode 2 hours or anything like that.
yeah.
So yeah. So with
But
that
yeah,
being said, that's the episode.
be looking forward to me with my Lakers gear on, celebrating this win Saturday. As you know,
No, no, you know
as
the
you know,
best team in California is pulling
as you
the
know,
dub. No, don't listen to that hearsay he got to say. Nope.
we're
Mm-mm.
really the best team in Cali. We know that, but we're not gonna get into that.
It's this squad right here. You know, don't forget it. Don't forget it. You
Hey,
see the name?
hey,
You
we
see the
will see.
name?
Hey, we will see tomorrow. We will see.
Yeah, we will see tomorrow. And don't forget also, please tune in to eagleeyeauburn.com for my article on the Auburn Tennessee game as well. I'll be posting that. And don't forget to look at the Auburn Tennessee game as well.
Yeah, like I say,
I
it would be wrong to not wish our best to our Auburn
mhm,
Tigers for the win.
yes. Please, I'm pulling for y'all. This will be the biggest game of the year so far, so it'll be an amazing one, and we'll keep y'all updated.
But yeah, with that being said, hey, but young bounds out, man. Thank you.